are joined on the news line now by Lori Lowenthal Marcus, who is founder of the pro-Israel group Z Street. She believes that it may not have just been the Tea Party folks and conservative groups that were targeted by the IRS. She says that some of this stuff may have been aimed at pro-Israel organizations like hers. Lori, how are you this morning?
I'm fine, thank you.
So what makes you think this?
Well, what makes me think this is that the IRS agent on our case told us so.
Really?
Yes, she told us when our corporate counsel called the agent assigned to our file about 8 months after we had filed our initial application. The agent said that the IRS has to give special scrutiny to organizations connected to Israel, and that some of those files of those organizations had to be sent to a special unit in Washington, D.C. to determine if their activities contradict those of this current administration's public policies.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait a minute now. Now, this is not just about, not being partisan, which you're not supposed to be partisan and still fall under the 501c4. Was it 501c4 that you were applying for?
No, we were just going for C3, purely educational.
But wait, now you're saying that the caseworker from the IRS specifically said that you're being screened to see if you are in ideological harmony with the administration?
Well, those are your words, but that is essentially what she was saying. She was saying that they were checking to see whether the organization's activities contradicted the policies of the administration. So that,
wow,
yeah, I'm glad you had that reaction because that was exactly. Actually, initially it was a couple of moments of fear, but then, excuse me, they're doing what?
Right, then the righteous indignation kicks in. Well, I mean, your group is Z Street. Where does it stand now? Is this still an open question with the IRS?
Yes, they not only made those outrageous statements, but they also told us after we filed suit about their process. We claim it's viewpoint discrimination, and that's a constitutional violation. They said in their responsive documents in court pleadings that because we sued them, they are going to invoke a discretionary regulation and they will not do anything further on our application. So it's now been 4.5 years, and we don't have a yes, we don't have a no, we have nothing. We're in total legal limbo.
All right.
We do have a court hearing.
Now, do you know of other pro-Israel organizations that have faced similar scrutiny?
I know that there are some that have complained privately. They are mostly too afraid to be public. Look, when you come up against the IRS, I mean, I see what happened to us, and other people have been audited extensively, and it's expensive. So they're fearful of coming forward. But I will tell you that we found out after we filed our lawsuit that an organization that's purely a religious Jewish organization has really nothing to do with Israel other than their religious beliefs. The IRS sent them a questionnaire asking, does your organization support the existence of the land of Israel, and describe your organization's religious belief system toward the land of Israel?
Oh, my gosh.
That was part of the questionnaire for the screening process for their nonprofit status?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, in writing from the IRS.
They put that on a piece of paper.
Yes, they did.
Oh, my goodness.
Our guest is Lori Lowenthal Marcus. Now, her group, it's a pro-Israel group called Z Street, and we learned about your case through a really good article in the Free Beacon, and they mention a group called J Street. Now, J Street is a pro-Palestinian lobbying group, and is it true apparently they actually petitioned the White House and called on them to start looking into groups like yours?
Well, yes, I actually sent the reporter, there was a statement put out, it's still on their website, a statement by J Street in 2010 calling on the government to look into organizations that support Israel, the communities beyond what's called the Green Line in Israel. Now, it's not against the law to support those communities. It's not against the law to even give financial support. And I don't know if you saw this one additional piece, but the IRS, the last position that they took with us, and I'm sure it's part of what they're claiming against those other groups, is that because there's a heightened risk of terrorism in Israel, and we support Israel, we might be financing terrorism.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Just sort of, for people who've never been through something like this, just talk about how intimidating it is when you are facing the IRS, who simply can say certain things, and there's really not much you can do. They can just ball up your life and tie you up for years and years and years and years.
That's true, and it can cost you a lot of money.
How much money have you spent in trying to work through this issue?
I can't tell you how much we spent because I am lucky enough to be married to a very, very good lawyer who took our case for free. But you know how expensive it would be to pay a lawyer to go through what we've gone through, and it's 3.5 years after we filed the lawsuit. We're just going to have our first hearing. I mean, it's too much. Regular people cannot afford this. So that we had to...
So it has a chilling effect on your organization.
Completely chilling effect. In fact, we basically, I had to take off all donation requests and even how to find us. I didn't want people sending us any money because I couldn't even tell them what status we have. So it is very intimidating, and people would not tell us. They would say, yes, we had terrible problems with the IRS, but please, you can't use my name because then they'll come after us.
Yeah. Lori Lowenthal Marcus, your group is Z Street, and this is such a compelling story. You know that this is really making its way through the congressional hearings right now with regard to the Tea Party and conservative groups. Have you spoken to any congressman? Is anyone taking up your cause at this end?
Well, it's interesting. When we first filed, don't forget, we filed our lawsuit in 2010. So that's quite a bit of time. And initially, a few members of Congress expressed interest, and then they never returned our phone calls. Now that this is happening with the Tea Party, I called the House Ways and Means Committee, and I said, look, exactly what you found out is happening at the IRS happened to us. And so the Ways and Means Committee actually sent a letter on May 14th to the IRS asking for additional information with respect to how they acted towards organizations connected to Israel.
Absolute outrage. Thank you so much for joining us and bringing your story to us.
Thanks for telling.
We'll try to give it some more oxygen. It doesn't end here.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks,
so much.
Laura.